Ooh. I tried to record this twice already and I was like weirdly formal both times. So I decided I'm just going to tell this like a story I would tell my friend. Cheers, mate. Hi, my name is AJ. I have Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, or PCOS for short. PCOS is the most common endocrine disorder or hormonal disorder to affect women of childbearing age. PCOS is a really hard diagnosis to get. One, because most doctors don't believe you when you tell them about your symptoms. And two, because it's a diagnosis of exclusion, not inclusion, meaning that they have to run a of tests beforehand to see if you have X, Y, and Z other chronic illnesses before they can ever even begin to investigate the probability of you having PCOS. Also, my neighbor just walked by outside. When I was about 15, I started realizing that my periods were heavier than my friend. A couple of times I brought like extra pants to school. I would have to change my pads all the time. My neighbor is passing again. I didn't really understand that that wasn't normal, but at the time I was losing so much blood because of my period that I actually had to take an iron supplement to replace some of what I was losing during my period. Also was diagnosed with clinical depression and anxiety when I was 15 years old. Like my first foray into really having to like self-advocate for my medical health. Finished up high school, moved on to college. My first year of college was relatively normal. I did start noticing though, my skin was breaking out more in like the chin zone and especially on my neck. And I like couldn't get it to stop. I tried everything. Like I had medical grade acne treatments. I had gone to see multiple doctors and it just wasn't going away. And then also I was growing hairs on my chin. My sophomore year of college, I remember being so tired. And I, at the time, was like, well, this is just normal. This is what people do. This is how you survive. Second semester, I all the time felt so bloated. Like I felt like a hippopotamus 300% of the time. And I was gaining weight rapidly. My entire life, I have been told that I am morbidly obese and that because my weight is above the whatever percentile on those charts that doctors use. Yeah, I have a lot of like identity issues with that, working through it. It's fine. I, at the time, was like, well, I'm just overweight. Like that's how I've always been. It's not any different. Like maybe it's just because my body's under stress. This is how I have always been. This is how I will always be. All bodies are good bodies. Your body is inherently good. You can be healthy at any size. I know my body because I live in my body every single minute of every single day. And I knew in my soul that something was wrong. I go away for the summer. I'm studying abroad. While I'm studying abroad, I gain a lot more weight. And by the time I get back to the States, I'm like, okay, something is not right. Junior year of college, I'm just trying to like coast my way through. I go to the gym all the time. I'm working out. I'm on a healthy regimen, still not losing weight. I go to the doctor. They tell me to lose weight, still not losing weight. And then finally, between my junior and my senior year, I am away again and I'm talking to my mom. At the time, we were actually on a service trip in Kenya. And one of my, I know this sounds so stupid, but one of my biggest insecurities going on this trip was that I knew that I wouldn't have access to the same like tools that I did at home. And I was so paranoid that I wouldn't be able to pluck my face and that I would come back to America with a beard. And I asked my mom to pluck my chin for me because I couldn't see it. And I just broke out into tears and was like, I don't think this is normal. My chin hair is darker than other people's. I don't get why I'm always broken out. I don't understand how I've gained all this weight, even though I work out 5 times a week and do all the right things and have all the right supplements and follow all the right plans. I still can't lose weight. I still feel like crap. I just know something is wrong. Somewhere along the line, my cousin who has PCOS gave me a book called the PCOS Handbook, and I read every word of it. I drank it in because it was the first time in my life that I did not feel insane. And so I went back to my doctor and said, hey, I think I have PCOS. And she said, great, we're going to need to test for a bunch of other things before we can diagnose you with it. So that's what kind of kicked off all of the blood tests, poked and prodded for months and months and months and months and months. I'll go back and forth between my college town and the city like at least once or twice a week to get a new blood test or a new ultrasound or meet with a new doctor. And I ended up meeting with an endocrinologist. Endocrinologists are like hormone doctors, who was actually horrible and told me that I was just fat and that was my problem. He ordered a bunch more tests. When they came back to him, he gave me the test results and said, hey, you have the highest DEHA and testosterone levels that I've seen in women with PCOS. I'm pretty sure, like, he said, I'm willing to diagnose you with PCOS based on your different symptoms. That being said, you can get rid of your PCOS if you just lose weight. And I said, I literally work out every day of the week. I take all of the right supplements. I follow all of the medical advice. I'm doing everything right, and I'm still gaining weight instead of losing weight. I'm still breaking out. Everything hurts. Like nothing feels okay. And I'm tired 100% of the time. And he was like, well, you're just being dramatic. At that time, I had to make a decision whether or not I wanted to heal my PCOS holistically or if I wanted to use medications. I, at that point, was so tired of feeling so sick all the time that I just signed up for medication. And the medication they use is birth control. I tried out a couple different birth controls, the pill form, and I was on my period, I'm not even kidding, for a month at a time. And I brought that back to my endocrinologist and I said, these pills are making me sick. And he said, you're being dramatic. At least you have a period. And I said, that wasn't the problem to begin with. You need to fix this. Something is wrong. I was like, you know what? I've done a lot of research. I might be able to heal this the natural way. Back up. In the midst of all of this, I start like Googling, researching, reading all the books that I can find. And I know in my soul that I have PCOS. I match every description to a T. But then getting the doctor to believe it is a whole other story. Finally, I have my diagnosis, but then where do I go from there? I start learning about how you can heal PCOS naturally, and I decide that I'm going to completely flip my life upside down and do everything holistically, and that leads me to where I am today, treating my PCOS naturally. Hi, sorry, the lighting is going to be drastically different because I took a 3-hour interlude because that was super awkward, and also because I wanted to talk to my friends. Explanation. The way that I got diagnosed is that I knew there was something wrong with my body. I was always fatigued. I had hirsutism. I was gaining weight and couldn't get it off. I had acne and weird patterns, and I just in general felt not myself. It was like being in my body but living outside of my body all the time. This is only the beginning. I just wanted to share the story. From now on, I'll be sharing more information about what my life looks like with PCOS instead of my own PCOS story. But I thought that this was a really great way to kind of kick things off, get things started so that we have a foundation for what we'll be talking about moving forward. Thank you so much for listening to this. If you've listened all the way through, I really, really appreciate you caring enough to do that. And I'm so excited to share more about this journey with you. One of my biggest frustrations with PCOS, especially when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me and get my diagnosis, is that I felt like there wasn't a lot of accessible content about PCOS. There was a lot of like medical journals and like really, really wordy long blogs, but there wasn't a lot of like, hi, I'm a person and I also have PCOS. And so that is what I'm trying to do. Hi, I'm a person. I have PCOS and I also have a really full and incredible life.